Hi, today we're going to be looking at tackling a somewhat difficult but very accomplishable task, and that's servicing the timing belt on a 2UZ-FE Toyota V8. That's 98 to 07, somewhere in there. We're working on a 04 Lexus LS430, but these steps are going to be pretty much identical for Toyota Tundra, Lexus LX, you name it, whatever V8 application you have. This can be a pretty challenging task. The steps are a little involved, so I'll warn you that this isn't something you're going to want to try if this is your first time out. But I think that anyone who can turn a wrench and has a little bit of persistence and a little bit of know-how is going to be able to achieve this task. Before we get started, we'll take a look at what we're going to need. Here I've got this timing belt kit that I got from Gallo over at Volkstoy Motorsports on eBay. I'll shoot you a link. He's a great guy. Really liked working with him. I definitely recommend putting OEM parts in your vehicle when you're doing this extensive maintenance. We've got an ice and water pump, Mitsubishi timing belts, Toyota genuine thermostat. We've got camshaft seals, the tensioners. Basically, we're going to be replacing every moving part that can wear out that's involved with the timing belt while we're in there, because it is an extensive service. For this motor, the service life is, I believe, 180,000 miles or so on their timing belt, and it's recommended that you replace it at 90,000. So this would be, if you went into the dealership, it would be your 90,000 mile service. I actually called a couple dealers to see how much this service might cost, and the Lexus dealer, I think, quoted me at about $1,800, and the Toyota dealer was like $1,500, something like that, which, based on my research, is about right. And that wasn't even necessarily replacing everything that we're going to replace here. That was just the timing belt replacement. And that's not to say you can't find some other mechanic, not a dealer, who's going to be able to do it for a lot less. But are they going to use genuine Toyota parts? Are they going to get it right? Because this is the kind of job where if you don't get it right, the consequences can be dire. But not to scare you too much, we're gonna jump right in here, and we're gonna get started with the teardown. And the very first thing we're going to need to do is remove all these covers so we can get access to the engine, obviously, and then disconnect power to the battery. This is one of those smart cars. I always recommend rolling down your windows so you can get into it once you pull that battery. Then we're going to need to jack it up and remove the cover on the underside of the engine as well. And now we have all of these upper covers removed, and the lower cover, for which there was no less than 18 fasteners on this particular vehicle. I guess Toyota wanted to be extra careful on that one. Next, we're going to just take the obvious piece, this airbox assembly here, which has a couple little hoses, as you can see, and this stuff is all going to vary a little bit depending on your specific vehicle. So these steps are not quite as generic, but very straightforward. And what we're doing is we're working towards being able to remove this radiator assembly, so that we can get access to the timing belt assembly down here. So of course, make sure that you've got your car cooling off. Hopefully it's already a little bit cooler than mine is. Nice 100 degree Oklahoma day, then driving it all day. And then we're going to start working towards removing that radiator assembly. And here we're getting ready to drain the coolant. There's a really nice drain hose here. Most vehicles do not have such a convenient drain option. A little turnkey right there for your fingers. Just gonna reach in there. And give that a turn. You can see our coolant is draining, and that coolant is just about done draining, at which point we're going to be ready to disconnect the upper and lower radiator hoses, and then after that we're going to get to work on the oil cooler lines. And we have those radiator hoses disconnected, and we have the cooler lines, the oil cooler lines down here, disconnected. draining, and then we're gonna put little plugs in them, ear plugs in them, and then we're ready to begin tackling the radiator assembly itself. We're going to need to disconnect all of the electrical connectors and the airbox cleaner to the ECU, and then the supports itself, and then we're going to be just about ready to lift that radiator assembly out. And we just removed that radiator assembly. Now we have plenty of space to work. We're going to start by removing the thermostat housing. And we've got that thermostat housing removed and out of the way, and we're going to be able to replace our thermostat while we have it off. Now we're ready to remove the serpentine belt. We've just got a 14mm socket on that tensioner, and we're just going to turn that counterclockwise, detension the belt, and remove the belt like so. Now we're ready to get the first glimpse of our quarry. We're going to remove the upper left and upper right timing belt covers with just the 10mm bolts all around. And here's our first glimpse of the timing belt here. This particular vehicle, just purchased it, has 126,000 miles on it. Timing belt's never been serviced, so it was definitely due. It's not in too bad a shape. Definitely had quite a bit of life left in it. But this cover was really easy to pull. There's just a clip over here for some vacuum hose that we needed to pull off. The right side is a little trickier. There's some water piping here and the cam position sensor. So we're going to need to just unclip this stuff gently with a flat blade screwdriver. Unclip this sensor, and then unbolt the cover once we have everything disconnected. And then I believe the sensor is going to have to thread through there as well. And also remember to keep this gasket with the cover. And we have that piping out of the way and that sensor connector disconnected. We're getting ready to pull the housing off. And we're just going to disconnect this sensor clip from the other side once we have the housing off. And we've got both those covers off. Now we're ready to remove the center timing belt cover. And we have that center timing belt cover removed, and now we're ready to remove the serpentine belt tensioner right here. In order to do that, we're going to need to remove these two nuts right here and here, and then the final bolt back here is actually linked to the alternator. And so to get this assembly out, as you can see, it's one casting that goes all the way behind the alternator here. We're going to have to pull the alternator out off its stud, then remove the tensioner, then slide the alternator back on its stud and let it rest there. And here we've got the alternator removed, and that's going to give us the clearance that we need to remove this tensioner assembly. And the remaining big piece of the serpentine belt assembly that we're going to need to remove now is this idler assembly right here. And we're going to need to remove this small pulley first. And we've got that smaller idler pulley removed, and now we're working on removing this whole assembly. And there are quite a few bolts that hold it in, and nuts on the other side here. One that we're trying to access that's really tricky right here that comes this way. There's a couple small 8mm bolts that held this little piece on right here. In some applications those are Phillips screws that can be difficult to get off. And then once we've got all these bolts off, we're going to be able to remove this entire idler assembly. Alright, we've got that idler pulley assembly removed, and now we're ready for what seems to be the trickiest part of this procedure. I've never done it before, so we're about to find out, and that's removing this crankshaft bolt. This can be a real bugger to remove. This car, again, has about 125,000 miles on it, and from what I can tell, it's never been removed before, so that'll make it nice and challenging. I've got a Central Pneumatic Earthquake, 700 foot-pounds of maximum torque at 90 psi, so hopefully that's enough to break it loose. If this is insufficient, what we're going to have to do is try the starter bump method, where we will attach a breaker bar and then a cheater bar to the breaker bar to that bolt, and then connect to the battery terminal and bump the starter. And supposedly that will give us enough force to break it loose, which I would not like to try, but you know, we'll see how it goes. So let's find out. Well, there it is. Okay, so fortunately our impact wrench was able to break that loose with extreme ease. And also, I guess I'll mention that there is a special tool, an SST special service tool, that you can purchase from Toyota or eBay to make this a little bit easier. From what I can tell from my research, the method that most people use is the bump start method. So for YouTube's sake, I'll do a quick little demonstration on this, though this would not be my preferred method to go about this. So I've got my 1-foot breaker bar and my 22mm socket. I've got a nice little video demonstrating how to use a breaker cheater bar like this under normal circumstances. Just going to slide that over the breaker bar, and then I jacked up the car so that I have this braced perfectly between the engine support brace here and the floor, so this bar doesn't really have anywhere to go. And then I guess ideally you'd have someone holding this as well, and then just get in the car and just bump the starter. And that starter, of course, has a big gear on it and lots of leverage, and should have no trouble breaking that bolt loose. So that from what I can tell, short of doing the actual timing itself and making sure you don't make a mistake there, this is the trickiest part of this procedure. So if you're frustrated, you know, you're not alone. There are lots of other people out there in your boat, and hopefully you're able to pick up an impact wrench that will break it loose for you, or or get the special tool you need, or the starter bump method work for you. And now that we have that crankshaft bolt loose, we are able to get our timing lined up. So what we're looking for is we're trying to line up this white mark with exactly 0 degrees. We want to make sure that on our cam gears we have this mark right here. If I can get this to focus in. Want this mark right here lined up precisely with this mark right here. You can see the mark on the front of the pulley and the back of the pulley, and then the mark on the casing. And over here we have similar marks right here and right here that we want to line up exactly. And again, it's absolutely critical that we get all this perfect. Once we have everything lined up at exactly 0, we can advance the crankshaft pulley forward to this mark right here at 50 degrees, which is a neutral timing position that will allow us to disconnect the timing belt safely and unload all the tension on all the cams. With our timing perfectly aligned, we're ready to remove the crankshaft pulley, and to do that we're going to have to unscrew this bolt. It's loose, so it'll be easy, but we don't want to mess up the timing when we remove it, so use an impact wrench ideally, which should only minimally move the pulley when you loosen the bolt, or you know, do your best to manually stabilize the surrounding pulley when you initially loosen that bolt. Then, after that bolt is removed, we're going to use a steering wheel puller tool to remove the pulley. And if you've never done this before, it's fairly straightforward. There are some screw holes in here that you insert, that you screw into with some bolts. I believe these are 8mm 1.25 thread depth or whatever bolts. You can rent it for free from AutoZone, and of course you want to rent this in advance so you have it handy. But you just screw some bolts in there, and then you use those bolts as leverage to remove the pulley, as we'll demonstrate here shortly. Alright, so we've got our two bolts threaded into the pulley, and you can see we've got the puller tool set on those bolts, and once both both of the pilot bolts are completely set, then we screw in that the center bolt on that remover tool, and that gives us enough leverage to pull the pulley right off. However, in our case, we found that the pulley just came right off without using a puller tool at all. So your mileage may vary. Maybe you can just take it right off with your hands. And now we have that pulley removed. We're ready to remove the cover, which is just 4 bolts, one of them recessed. And that right here is why we're doing this preemptive replacement. It does not take many broken teeth before you can skip a tooth and have one hosed up interference motor. And we just removed the crankshaft angle sensor plate, and it's important to note which side is out. This is the side that faces out, and make sure you put it in the right direction when you reinstall it. Alright, we are getting ready to remove the timing belt, and while removing that crankshaft pulley can be the most challenging part of this procedure, this is the most important not to make a mistake on. We want to make timing marks, very narrow, thin timing marks, so there's no ambiguity on the belt, and match those up exactly to the left and right cam pulleys. Got 3 marks over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer these marks to the new belt and match these marks up exactly. We indicate the left and right cam pulleys, and then we also want to make some marks on the crankshaft gear as well. So with all of our timing marks in place, we're ready to begin detensioning the timing belt, and we do that with the timing belt tensioner unit right here. And as you can see, there's these 2 12mm bolts on the bottom here, and we're just going to loosen them a little bit, one at a time. So a little bit on one, then a little bit on the other, and that is going to slowly detension the timing belt. And here we have the that piston component of the tensioner removed, and we are using a cheater bar with this large Allen wrench to remove the idler attached to that tensioner piston. Okay, here is the tensioner piston, and this part can get a little tricky to explain. There are these 2 holes, a set of holes right here, if I can get this to focus, and a set of holes right here, and you will need these holes to line up in this direction, and to do that you can just use a small Allen wrench to just rotate that back and forth like that. So you want to get those to line up perfectly. Then this boot goes directly over it like so, and make sure that that boot does not show any signs of leakage or wear. If it does, it'll need to be replaced. And then what we're going to do is compress this piston down to get those 2 sets of holes to line up, and then we're going to stick the Allen wrench through, and then we can release the vise that we're going to use to compress that. For this you can use a C-clamp, a bench vise. You see people use a jack with it still attached to the car, whatever you have available to you. But what we're going to do is one way or another compress this piston, get those holes lined up, insert the Allen wrench to get the tensioner pre-tensioned, so that when we go to reinstall it, then we just have to pull that pin and we'll get tension back in the tensioner. Alright, so as it would turn out, this piston is just a tiny bit too long for our vise, so we improvised an apparatus here to do the trick. We've got a C-clamp that I'd usually use for brake calipers or something like that, with some blocks of wood and a strap to make sure that we very securely have this piston in place. And now we are compressing that piston, and we've got that Allen wrench there ready to insert as soon as those marks line up. just like that. Alright, and now we have the pre-tensioned piston that we'll be able to bolt onto the tensioner and then pull that pin out to apply the tension to the tensioner. Alright, last night we got as far as removing the timing belt after marking up the belt properly and getting all the tensioner components removed. And now we are ready to start going for extra credit. This kit that I got from Gallo over at Volkstoy was very complete. It has a brand new Ison water pump in it, and then it also came with some new tensioner pulleys and idler pulleys, and new tensioner unit, new tensioner piston. Although of course I demonstrated retensioning this so that you can use your old one if you so desire. And then this thermostat we still need to install. These camshaft and crankshaft bearings, I don't think I'm going to do those. That's a very involved process. And I don't see any signs of leakage anywhere under my my existing seals, but it's certainly something that you're going to want to do if you've got a lot of miles on the clock. It's definitely recommended as a preemptive replacement if this is your second timing belt, so 180,000. We're only at 125,000 on this particular vehicle right now, and quite frankly, if it wasn't so darn hot out today, I'd probably do it anyway just for the sake of it. But I'm confident I'm going to get another 50,000 or whatever out of these. And if they do start to leak, it will be very easy to see, and I will have the replacement parts handy. But ultimately, your goal here is to replace every moving component that can wear while you have all this torn apart. So we're going to replace all these idlers, basically every component that has a bearing or a seal or something like that that can wear out. So let's get started on the water pump here, and it's pretty straightforward. It's just mounted straight into the block with a number of bolts here. And we have the old pump removed. There were quite a few bolts holding it in. I just used the new pump as the jig to keep track of which bolts go where, and pulled off the old gasket. Came off very cleanly, but you still want to run over that surface with a razor blade very carefully, and then just a clean shop rag. Make sure you have a perfectly clean surface to mate the new gasket to. And then I went through and also just kind of cleaned everything up with a rag, and then some conservative hits with brake cleaner. And now we're ready to install the new pump. And here we have our new water pump installed, along with our new pulley tensioner, both the piston and the tensioner itself, and the new idler pulley over here. And here we have the old and the new timing belts lined up, exactly tooth for tooth, transferring those timing marks over. And as you can see, it's very easy to get them lined up precisely with just a little bit of masking tape, so you know your marks are in the exact correct location. And here we have the new timing belt installed with all of the timing marks transferred over, and they all line up perfectly. And we have the new tensioner piston installed, and we're ready to pull the pin to let off the tension. There we go. Now we just want to try hand cranking the motor to make sure that everything turns over smoothly and we don't feel any kind of resistance that might indicate valves are making friends with the pistons. And we have the pulley reattached so we can keep an eye on all the timing marks. We have the tensioner installed and engaged, and now we are turning the engine over very carefully and very slowly by hand to make sure that there's no undue resistance, that might indicate the pistons and the valves are getting a little too friendly. And to eliminate resistance from compression, we have removed all of the spark plugs, so no compression builds inside the cylinder. And so far, so good. We turned it over several times, made sure that all the timing marks still match up, which they do, and we're not seeing any kind of resistance or hearing any noise that indicate that there's any kind of interference happening inside of the cylinders. So at this point, things get much easier. We're ready to reassemble everything, and if we run into anything of note here that is difficult, we'll be sure to note that in the video. But it's basically just run through all the steps that you've seen in a disassembly in reverse order. And the reassembly is flying along. We've got all of the spark plugs reinstalled from our test turning it over. We've got the idler pulley reinstalled here, along with the alternator just below it. Then right now we're reinstalling the right cam cover. And here we have all of the timing belt covers reinstalled, and we're just about ready to reinstall the serpentine belt and reinstall the radiator assembly. And we have our radiator assembly reinstalled, our electrical connections reconnected. We still need to reconnect our radiator hoses and our transmission oil cooler lines. To hook up the radiator hoses, we're going to reinstall the thermostat housing. We've already replaced the thermostat inside of the thermostat housing, and this isn't really tricky, but if you've never done it before, it's just as messy as it might seem. The factory just put some RTV silicone. I just got some ultra black RTV silicone at Walmart for $6. Nice and cheap part. And when I was looking at the different existing helps out there on this, it looked like some people put a little bit of RTV silicone on the inside seal of the water pump, and when I looked at my water pump, it didn't seem to me like there was any RTV on there from the factory. And some people just really like to put some extra RTV on there for good measure, and some people don't. I'm definitely in that second camp. So I just put the regular metal and rubber seal on there. For this one, you definitely are going to need some RTV though. And there's just this trough where that old RTV went, and you need to get that out, get it as absolutely clean as you can. I just use a screwdriver very gently to get most of it out, and then you can kind of use a washcloth or just any kind of abrasive cloth or something like that, and you can get it as clean as you can get it. And then of course make sure that the surface that it's mating against also is perfectly clean. We have a brand new water pump, so this surface is perfectly clean. But you want to have a pristine mating surface for your RTV seal. And then just like it seems, we're gonna run around here. Just need to cut the tip off. And just have a nice even bead that goes all the way around, and you want it to completely fill up that trough, and then have plenty of extra to spread out around it. And don't go crazy, but it's hard to have too much. Make sure it completely fills up that trough there. And then we are ready to install it. And this is a little tricky because there's this extra port that we need to plug into. If you had, you may have noticed in the videos I had some paper towels plugging those ports so we didn't get any dust or debris in there. Make sure you get those out first. You need to get this guy on the left seated. And that was a little bit trickier than it could be. The trick for me was just to lubricate that O-ring on the left passage with a little bit of coolant. And it slid right in there. It was definitely tricky at first. And just be really deliberate and make sure that you don't mess up your RTV seal as you're trying to get that part to press in there. And we are getting to the end of our 2nd gallon here, so we're probably just about full. And there are a lot of procedures out there on how to properly burp your coolant system. And I just fire it up, make sure the reservoir and the radiator are full, and let it cycle through. And some vehicles are a little more sensitive than others, but near as I can tell, the LS or these Toyota V8s are not one of them. But sometimes you'll get a little bit of air stuck in your heater core or something like that. But I don't think you're gonna have any trouble here. So just fill it up, then fire it up, check it. You'll probably need to add some more after running the motor through a single heat cycle while we're just watching it. And then just drive it around and check it again in a week or so. And we should be at the perfect coolant level. So after we get done filling up, we'll be ready to fire it up, and hopefully everything fires up just fine. Alright, time for the moment of truth. We're just going to connect our terminal, and we have absolutely everything that's mechanically required to start the vehicle, but we don't have any of our covers just in case we miss something. We'll just fire it up. And our battery's dead. So we'll try this again. Alright, I put it on a trickle charger for about 15 minutes. We'll see how we're doing. There we go. No strange noises. Seems to be idling correctly. Seems like we have a success. And I ran it through a full heat cycle, and the coolant level seems just fine. Since we didn't drain the block, it's not consuming that much. I'll just drive it around a little bit, check it in a week, and add a little bit of coolant. The last step is, of course, to button it back up to put all the top covers back on it and that bottom apron. Again, this vehicle has 125,000 miles, give or take, and no preventative maintenance has been done on it to date. I don't know how someone buys an $80,000 car and then doesn't do any maintenance on it. I took a look at the transmission fluid, and it's looking pretty rough. Lexus claims, it's a lifetime transmission fluid. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that, especially with the way it looks. So I'm going to take the opportunity to change the transmission fluid. The spark plugs appear to be factory original, so I'm going to take the opportunity to do those spark plugs. Of course, do an oil change. While I've got everything apart here, it's kind of difficult to access the oil filter on this particular vehicle. I checked the air filter, and then all the other fluids, brake fluid, power steering fluid, all that. When you use a timing belt, you're usually doing that 90, 100,000 mile an hour, 100,000 mile maintenance. So that's just a good opportunity for you to do all the other bits of preventative maintenance that you usually do at that point in the life of the vehicle. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post them on the video, and I'll do my best to try to help. Thanks.